The story of Troy long ago, when the gods still walked among mortals and destiny, was woven by unseen hands. There arose a tale of beauty, betrayal, bloodshed. The tale of Troy, the golden city doomed to fall. The judgment of Paris, the story began, not with warriors, but with a quarrel among the gods. At the wedding feast of Peleus and Thetis, goddess of the sea, Eris, the goddess of discord, cast into the gathering a golden apple, inscribed with the words, "To the fairest." Hera, queen of the gods, Athena, goddess of wisdom and war, and Aphrodite, goddess of love, each claimed it. To settle their dispute, they turned to Paris, a shepherd prince of Troy, known for his fairness of judgment. One by one, the goddesses offered him bribes. Hera promised him power and dominion over all kingdoms. Athena offered him wisdom and unmatched skill in battles. Aphrodite whispered of love, the love of the most beautiful woman in the world. Paris, swayed by desire, placed the golden apple into Aphrodite's hand. Thus began the chain of fate. The abduction of Helen, the most beautiful woman, was Helen of Sparta, wife of King Menelaus. Guided by Aphrodite, Paris sailed to Sparta, where he won Helen's heart and persuaded her to flee with him to Troy. When Menelaus discovered his wife stolen by a foreign prince, his heart burned with fury. He called upon his brother, Agamemnon, king of Mycenae, who summoned all the lords of Greece to avenge the insult. Bound by old oaths of loyalty, they came. Odysseus, cunning lord of Ithaca, master of wiles, Ajax the Great, towering and strong, Nestor, the wise elder, Achilles the son of Thetis, swiftest of all warriors, nearly invincible save for one mortal heel. With 1,000 black ships, the Greeks sailed across the wind-dark sea, bearing down on Troy like a storm. The siege of Troy for 9 long years, the Greeks laid siege to Troy, whose walls, built by the gods, seemed unbreakable. Skirmishes and duels raged beneath its towering gates. Heroes on both sides carved their names into history with spear and sword. The Trojans, led by noble Hector, son of King Priam, fought bravely. Hector was the heart of Troy, a warrior, a prince, a brother, and a father. He fought not for glory, but for the safety of his city and his family. The gods, ever fickle, chose their sides. Athena favored the Greeks, while Apollo and Aphrodite aided Troy. The battlefield became not only a clash of men, but of divine wills. The wrath of Achilles, yet the greatest danger to the Greeks, did not come from Troy, but from within their own camp. Achilles, proud and unmatched in skill, quarreled with Agamemnon over a captive woman. Enraged, he withdrew from battle, refusing to fight. Without Achilles, the Greeks faltered. Hector drove them back to their ships, and the tide of war threatened to sweep them into the sea. In desperation, Achilles' dearest companion, Patroclus, donned his armor and led the Myrmidons into battle. But fate was cruel. Hector struck him down, mistaking him for Achilles himself. When the news reached Achilles, his grief turned to fury. His rage shook the earth. Donning new armor forged by Hephaestus himself, he returned to battle like a blazing storm. None could withstand him. At last, he met Hector beneath the walls of Troy. The duel was fierce and terrible, but Hector's fate had already been woven by the fates. Achilles struck him down, and in his wrath, he tied Hector's body to his chariot and dragged it around the city walls. King Priam, gray with sorrow, came in secret to the Greek camp. Kneeling before his son's killer, he begged for Hector's body. Moved by the old king's tears, Achilles relented, and for a brief moment, humanity softened the cruelty of war. The fall of Troy, yet Troy's doom was sealed. Achilles himself soon met his end, struck in his only vulnerable spot, his heel, by Paris's arrow, guided by Apollo. Still, even without him, the Greeks sought to end the war once and for all. It was Odysseus, master of cunning, who devised the plan. The Greeks built a great wooden horse, hollow within, and left it before Troy's gates as an offering, pretending to sail away. The Trojans, believing the war over, brought the horse into the city as a trophy. That night, as Troy celebrated, Greek warriors hidden within the horse emerged and opened the gates. The waiting army poured in. Troy was set aflame. The streets ran red with blood. Priam was slain at his own altar, Cassandra dragged away in chains, and Hector's infant son cast from the walls. Yet a few escaped. Among them Aeneas, guided by the gods who would one day found a new people in Italy. The legacy of Troy so fell, the mighty city of Troy, not to brute force but to deception and destiny. It was a story of love that sparked a war, of pride that fueled destruction, and of gods who played with mortal lives as though they were pieces on a board. And though the city burned, its memory lived on in the songs of poets, carried through the ages as a warning, and as a tale of glory, tragedy, and the inescapable hand of fate.